The Chicago Bears have already had the best offseason out of any team, and free agency hasn't even started. The Bears were aggressive in making moves and trading for two veteran interior offensive linemen. They traded a fourth-round pick for Joe Thuney. I always say that wrong. And they traded a sixth-round pick for Jonah Jackson from the Rams. Two guys who are quality starters. I understand the criticism that Thuney is on the end of his career. He's 33 years old, but he's still a two-time All-Pro, and you only had to send a fourth-round pick for this dude. The approach needed to be, with Caleb Williams being sacked 68 times last year, going and getting him as much protection as possible. And they're doing this. They just need to draft a center, and this offensive line is completely different.
I'm not worried about the Thuney age at all. These real upper echelon offensive linemen,
real orators over here on this show.
This is how you do it.
Oh, wait! Update of the century: Tommy DeVito re-signs with the Giants. Breaking news: quarterback of the future. I'm telling you, that's all who we're going to start. If we don't draft Cam Warden, we don't trade up. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers.
Why'd I fall for that?
I just want Stromboli Tommy. I want him going out there. All right, go ahead. Let's get back to the Bears.
My stomach tightened when you said up. I thought we might have had a DK play, but no.
That's the real news.
I am a dope and a fool for believing that you.
All right, back to the Bears because we're not going to analyze Tommy DeVito.
These really elite offensive linemen like Thuney, they can play late into their 30s. We just saw Jason Peters retire after 22 years. Did the big cat fall off a little bit towards the end? Yes, but they stay in the league, man. It's not hard to keep the mass on. Trust me on that. Not hard.
You've done a good job of that.
To retain mass. The athleticism, I think Thuney can keep that up. They're all the nutritionists, all the quick flexibility and elite strength and conditioning trainers can keep these guys in shape and in production as long as they want. Getting Caleb Williams an offensive line that he can be comfortable behind is so necessary. And now it is, how do they start working? How do they start blending together? I don't like this. NFL teams start really crumbling, and you see it if you have optimism. If you're a team that goes on a skid, it's because these offensive linemen start rotating in and out. When you're sitting in week 12, right, and you hear a commentator, a broadcaster state, well, this is the seventh straight different combination of the front five that we've seen, it's no shock when you see that the team is 3-9 at that point. Keep the guys healthy, keep Caleb on his feet, and we could see some big things. Couple that with an actually structured offense that Caleb Williams can work through, and the Bears really did win the offseason.
The bigger reason why they're already smoking this and they've got the best offseason, the free agent market for guards was bad. It was Trey Smith and Will Fries, and it was thin. And it sounds like Trey Smith could potentially end up be back with the Chiefs. Part of the reason probably why they traded Thuney was so that they could have money to keep Trey Smith. The interior line class is good, but if you're trying to keep Caleb Williams upright, you need to bring in guys who have been around the block. Now, I don't know how much longer you're going to get Joe Thuney to play at a high level. I just don't.
Probably 3 years.
2. He's 33.
I'll
get the 35.
I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2 good level. 3, he can still start.
Thuney also reminds me of how the Lions went and got Kevin Zeitler, who it felt like Kevin Zeitler was at the end of his career, brought him in, and they got some really good play out of him for this final stretch. He was one of their most important linemen because he's just experienced.
Yeah.
Having an experienced guy who maybe can barely move still, and Thuney's not that, is still better than taking a shot on someone.
I completely get it. When Atlanta brought in Alex Mack, he was a game changer because he was a veteran center that had been around the block, had a ton of experience, and he knew all the tricks. If you continue to play offensive line in your 30s, there's nothing that's going to surprise you. The biggest threat is just seeing like a freak like Jalen Carter run down your face and say, this guy is 25 and can lift cars. Maybe I can't do that. But other than that, they know the ins and the outs of the offense. Maybe Chicago makes a push for Drew Dahlman. Good run blocker, bad pass protector. I'm not sure. Not bad, but adequate.
Well, are
pass
they going to be
But he's looking for big money. He's the top-rated center that's going to be on free agency.
I don't think that they should spend money on a center too. I think that they should draft like Jared Wilson or Seth McLaughlin. So when I was listening to a show talking about Dahlman, and they were describing him as a wide zone center. I just don't know what Ben Johnson's going to run if that fits. I legitimately don't know if Ben Johnson's a wide zone guy. And that was why he succeeded, because he had Chris Lindstrom next to him, but he's undersized. He's underweight.
Yeah, Dahlman's not going to kill you, but there's going to be a play a game where you're sitting here like, this guy? This 61? Again? Like all season. I'm waiting like, oh, okay, Dahlman, good so far, holding call, because not athletic, or undersized, and sometimes not athletic enough to reach a 3-tech, even if he gets a hand help from a guard. So I'm not that high on him, but I understand that he could contribute, and if you were an OL needy team like the Bears...
He's also 67, you were wrong there.
Oh, you're 67? Who was 61? Was that Hennessy?
It might have been Hennessy.
We had a couple tragedies at center. I'm being overdramatic. Good for you, Drew Dahlman. Oh, you played just well enough to get overpaid. That's the American dream.
That's how it works.
That is the American
he did
dream.
Just enough to get overpaid. I love that.
He did the NFL equivalent of getting bots on your YouTube channel to boost your numbers so a company signs you. Way to be, pal.
And we may or may not know of somebody who did that at a big company.